All right.
Does it look good?
I'm waiting for that YouTube notification so that I can double check, but I think it looked good. That's not. Okay.
Uh-huh, that's correct.
It does look good, although my entire... Wait, can I...
Why is your window like
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. One second. Wait.
That's okay, I'll play chat moderator while this is going on.
Controls? Nope. I want to... Options? There's options anywhere? That's the tea party. I don't want to go there. Go. Oh, I can't get out. Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
I might just be playing this windowed. It might just have to be windowed, I think.
Alright. Hello, Alan. Have you tried... Is this game capture, or is this...
This is game capture.
Can you just crop it? Can you crop the capture?
I could. Alright, this is going to be scuffed for a second.
Give that a shot. Yeah, don't worry. I'll keep an eye. Hey, Alan. It's the two of us. We're here. Hopefully you can hear both of us. Hopefully audio should be good.
Why is that game capture so large?
I don't know. We're working on this. Just give us a minute. Technical difficulties. You know how it is.
No, I want to... There we go.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to a very fun, what will prove to be an amazing experience. Hopefully.
Okay, I want that one to be there. There we go. I think that's it. I think that's good.
This is terrifying.
Let's see. This has changed nothing.
It changed nothing at all. Oh.
Why have you done nothing for
Hi,
me?
Schroggers. Yeah, we're trying to get the tray out the way. The tray and the pop-up.
No.
We have production standards around here.
Is
They're
it
pretty
because
low.
you're not actually using? Is it because you're using...
Is it using window capture instead of game capture?
I think it's using window capture instead of game capture. What if I get rid of you?
Yeah, just delete it and see if that fixes it. I had to do that for one of the last things we filmed, I think, FNAF World. It started moving. It's moving.
Oh, I think game capture was behind it.
Roggers is saying you are in display capture rather than game capture.
There
That
we
looks
go.
clean.
Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
Alright.
Well,
So, yeah.
little bit of scuff at the beginning, but, you know, nothing we can't overcome. All right, so hello, everyone, and welcome to our new streamed series that we're going to be doing on the channel. Umineko no Naku Koro ni, or Umineko when they cry, when the seagulls cry, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
This is a niche visual novel that has a very dedicated fan base. Pertuset introduced it to me how long ago now?
About a year and maybe a year and a half ago, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I was interested in it. I got the games after he explained some stuff to me, and then I only played the first chapter out of 8. So yes. I have some limited knowledge of what's going to happen in the game, but beyond the first chapter, I don't know anything. Pertuset knows the entire story.
True. So I am a huge fan of this series. First off, as always, let us know if audio levels need change, if I need to be louder, or Levi, or the game as we go on, because we never know with this dang thing.
Yeah.
And of course, please like it if you like it. But yeah, I am a huge fan of Umineko, and Higurashi is the other very famous one that is made by the same person, Ryukishi 07, as you can see, 7th expansion down there. Higurashi no Daku Kroni has gotten like 2 or 3 anime adaptations, so it's pretty well known. Umineko is not as well known, but I maintain, after having watched the whole story, after reading the whole thing, which, by the way, this story is longer than the Bible, but it's worth it, because I think that it is perhaps the best written, and by that metric for me, best piece of media ever made. At least that I've ever experienced so far. So, high praise, I know, but hopefully you'll be able to see why as we delve into it today.
Now, we're gonna figure this out as we go, because last time I played this game, I had installed a mod which gave them voices. So, if all else fails, I can just, I should just be able to mute the tab. But
the music. We'll figure it out.
Oh, I could load.
Alright. And I figure for each... Oh. Well, I'll figure it out. You can handle the narrator for the first chapter. I'll do the second one.
I can perform witchcraft to jump forward in time.
Nuh-uh.
Do not cast the spell.
No, you can't. Story-wise, probably.
Tips mode. This story is very obviously fictional and fantastic in nature. Any resemblance to existing individuals, organizations, locations, or incidents is entirely coincidental.
Nuh-uh. It's all real. I already know.
Ah!
They're speaking.
System. Oh, wait, there was
Music.
options.
What's the
There was
music?
options. Wait, options. Voice.
I thought I saw voice somewhere.
I turned off the voices.
Why were they... Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
It's giving you like an example. Let me turn down the music a little bit. 10? Is 10 good?
It's quiet. I can hear it. I don't know. Audience, let us know if music needs to be louder or not, but for now, that's good for me.
Okay. And then voices are down. Xbox, shadow. Okay. That's all good? All right.
Yep.
Do you want to be
You're up
Nanjo?
first.
I'm up first?
Nope.
Okay. So, you still haven't overcome your love of alcohol. The old physician let out a sigh as he removed the stethoscope. Two elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench.
Ooh, sickly sweet.
In the corner of this room, which was much larger than what most people would call a study, was an expensive-looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene.
The bottle is my friend. It is no less of a friend than you, and it has stood by my side even longer than you have.
As the man bearing his chest for the stethoscope rearranged his clothes, he spoke unapologetically. Kinzo-san. Your body only appears to be well thanks to the effects of the medicine. However, if you continue to drink such strong spirits, the treatment will become meaningless. Trust my judgment. Refrain from drinking.
First off, can we talk about that tie drip? I've always wanted to talk about this in front of an audience. He got the tie over top of the cloak, but underneath the suit jacket. Love Kinzo. Okay. I thank you, though only for the sentiment. My friend. Genji. Another glass. Water it down slightly. That way Nanjo can save face. Look at you cheesing. Hope that's you.
Are you quite sure? After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and the family doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully.
Fade to black.
The family doctor, Nanjo, let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. There was a smell filling up the room. This sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself.
Thickly sweet and poisonous.
It was the smell of that venomous green drink
Oh my, venom.
that
Green.
the man couldn't bear to part with.
Man's drinking Nickelodeon goo. Nanjo, you are my close friend, and we have known each other for quite a long time. I am deeply grateful for all that you have done to keep me alive this long.
I have done nothing. After all, you never listened to my advice as your physician.
True, I wish I was that based. And you never listen when I warn you about a mistaken chess move you're about to make. It seems only fair, does it not?
Master.
Thank you. Now, I wouldn't die if I ran out of your medicine, but I would if I ran out of this.
Haha, true, truing.
The weekends.
Disregarding Nanjo, who had his face set in a resigned expression, Kinzo took out the glass that Genji was holding out to him. Or took the glass, excuse me, that Genji was holding out to him. Very few people would associate that venomous color with an
Dang.
alcoholic beverage.
I know I didn't. Nanjo, be honest with me. How much time do I have left?
Well now. How short must I make it to convince you to set the bottle aside?
True.
Nanjo once again let out a sigh of resignation. Then, he finally spoke to Kinzo as the latter swirled his glass. You don't have long.
What precisely do you mean by that?
Let us illustrate it with the chess game here. You have very nearly achieved checkmate, but you have not yet cornered my king. Nanjo's gaze was directed at a side table with a massive chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the positioning of the pieces, the game seemed to be entering its final stage.
Really? Looking at that one right there?
Black's rook and bishop were cutting deeply into the enemy lines. Both the black
That's
rooks
very
are
centered.
on this side. White's king had already been castled. No, it has not, and cornered.
Nope.
So that even an amateur could see that the match
Black's king had
would
been,
reach its
castled.
conclusion before too long. Every time Nanjo came to give a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was hinting that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before this game could be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old friend.
I've had those.
What? Were you a normal patient, I would recommend that you write a will at this point.
And what is a will, Nanjo? Handwritten instructions to the vultures on how to devour and scatter my corpse.
With this family? Yeah. No, not at all. As the word suggests, it is a way for you to record your will for later generations. It is far more than just a means to divide up your inheritance.
I'm with Kinzo on that gaze. Paul. And apart from the division of the inheritance, what might I write of?
You might write of your regrets, or matters you have left unfinished, things you want to pass down to others, or merely matters you wish to communicate. Anything you want.
Things I want to pass down to others, or matters I wish to communicate. Ridiculous. I, Ushiromiya Kinzo, have not one thing I want to tell or leave behind. I was born with nothing. I will die with nothing. There's nothing I wish to leave to my foolish children. Even if the end were to come today, even if it were to come right now, I would accept that fate of death without a trace of fear. I created everything. My fortune, my prestige, everything. Those were built up by me, and they will be lost along with me. There is nothing I wish to leave behind. Nothing! I'm surprised he hasn't started going into a coughing fit. After I'm gone, I care not if it all goes to waste.
I forget, does he do the thing at this part right here? Like at the very end of this scene, does he do the thing?
I think so.
Because if so, I would like to turn on the audio just for that part.
True, fair. There's a few things I do want to turn the audio for. Okay. I desire no tomb, no coffin. Those were the terms of the contract I made with the witch.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna wait. Is it? Wait.
When I die, everything will be lost.
It's coming soon.
That has been part of the promise since the beginning, and that's why nothing will be left behind. There's nothing I can leave behind.
After reaching a furious crescendo, Kenzo suddenly slumped over.
Like a Muppet.
His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit, a Muppet, had possessed him and then left.
Yep. Dots.
Yeah, I was about to say, go ahead. Read it.
However, I do have one regret. I have nothing to leave behind, but there is one thing I cannot leave undone.
You would do well to write it down. That's me.
I was expecting his tirade to just keep
Yeah. Honestly, with Kenzo, you can never be sure. Of course, it would be best if you could finish it before your time comes. However, even if the worst happens, those who come after you will carry it to completion. I doubt with this family. You must leave behind your regrets so that they can be resolved, even if you are unable to do so yourself. That is the purpose of a will. When Nanjo tried to gently pat Kenzo's shoulder, the dying man flew into a sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand.
Woo. Did you hear that sound?
Yeah.
It's useless, useless, useless! It must be done while I still live. At the moment of my death, my soul will be devoured by the demons of the contract and wiped out of existence. For me, there will be no peace or another world after death.
Dang.
That's why everything must be completed before I go. That's why a will has no meaning for me. And even if I had a chance to write such a thing, if I did have such a chance, I'd want to see it. I want to see it one more time.
Is this it? I think this is it.
It's coming close. It's...
Okay, here we go.
Beatrice's smiling face one last time.
I'm turning it up.
Yeah. Beatrice.
今こそお前に与えられたすべてを返そう、すべてを失おう。
Too good. You gotta let him go.
もう一度だけお前の美少を見せてくれ。
There are a few Kinzo lines and a few other character lines that have to be read by the voices.
お前はそういう女だ。頼む、姿を見せてくれ。
Do it.
Do it, Kenzo! Stop stalling!
今もこの部屋のどこかで私を嘲笑っているのだろう。私の前にもう一度現れてくれ。そして微笑んでくれ。なじってくれて。
Come on!
He's stalling!
I can hear it at the end of every phrase almost.
このまま一人で死にたくない。
Oh, he doesn't want to die alone. How sad.
お前の微笑みを再び一目見るまでは絶対に死ねない。
Man's dictating his whole will right now.
Yeah.
Here it is!
ベアトリーチェ、ベアトリーチェ。
True.
この命はくれてやる。お前にくれてやる。五章だ。ベアトリーチェ。
They got some... Oh, the opening. The opening.
7th expansion presents.
Mark the Avengers.
Bum 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 bum!
I have this pen.
Umineko no Naku Koro ni Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning.
For me, that was synced. I don't know if it was in the actual thing. Oh, it's so good.
Opening theme. I can't read that.
in case it's copyrighted, let's talk over it.
Okay, yeah.
So for this opportunity, I implore the audience, as well as you, Levi, but also for the audience, since they presumably have never interacted with this, do your best. I've kind of mentioned it in the description. Do your best to see what you can figure out about all the mysteries here. Can you figure them out before we do, before the game reveals it, if it reveals it, which a lot of times it won't.
Yeah, true.
I'm pretty sure did you figure them out? Did it tell you how they went down, or you just saw what happened?
I can't, it's been so long, I only played a little bit of Chapter 2, so I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I'm pretty fresh. I remember the narrative of Chapter 1, but I don't remember if any of it was explained at all.
Okay.
Welcome to Rokkenjima.
I'd say take this time, definitely, to make sure this is also a real Let's Play and we're not just reading the visual novel, although I think we're doing a banger job.
Yeah,
Take this opportunity to try and, like, take pauses and figure out, piece together the meta mystery and the in the moment mysteries.
It is October 4th, 1986, the first day. Now I need to turn off the voices. Yep. Get out of here. Young man. Whoa! Things sure move with the times. I can't believe we're able to make the trip in just 20 minutes. I couldn't help but...
anime pro tag.
Yeah,
I love this.
Yeah. Oh, God, and he's narrating, too. Wait. I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel at how far things had come in the recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then, we were all forced to endure nearly half a day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days.
I love 1986.
Still, I've never been on a plane this small. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this will be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's gonna shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more than big ones, so I guess the same rule probably applies to planes?
Why? Why do you think that?
Just spare me.
I'm not sure that's true or not. Don't worry, Battler-kun.
That's not the voice I expected you to do for George.
It shakes much less than that boat did.
Gah! Is that you? Is that you, George Aniki? Don't scare me like that. You just shaved 3 years off my life. Anyway, what's shaking got to do with anything?
I'd like to point out, Battler is 16 at this juncture, if I remember.
Who?
And, or maybe, I can't remember for sure. They're both pretty young. They're in their teens or early 20s, and they look like pro basketball players. Anyway.
Yeah. You don't think I'm actually scared of the plane shaking or maybe falling out of the sky or something, right?
Oh, of course not. My mistake. I see you've changed a lot since we last saw you. After all, it's been 6 years since then. You're not a kid anymore. I don't like George laugh.
Sheesh. And here you are, old enough to smoke and drink. I've got no interest in smoking, but I've always wanted to try some booze. Well, if you've got your dad's genes, I bet you can hold your own when it comes to drinking, right?
That could be such a dig if you didn't. Well, I usually drink for business rather than pleasure, fogged up glasses. It's pretty hard to do business in Japan without it.
That's exactly right. That's why I never miss a chance to get in some practice.
Dang. That's no good, Battler-kun. You're still a minor. Don't you know alcohol can stunt the growth of... never mind.
Huh? Huh? Come on, I'm tall enough already. In fact, it'd be easier to find clothes if I shrunk a little. I puffed my chest out proudly. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class.
Aww.
But then I grew and grew, and before I knew it, I'd passed 180 centimeters, 5'11". That's good for a Japanese man.
Yeah, it is.
That's really tall for a Japanese man. I guess all I have, or excuse me, I guess I have all that muscle training and those shady mail order performance enhancing drugs
True.
to thank for that. I did not remember that part.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. That's just normal. 1986.
Before then, I'd never dreamed that I'd shoot 10 centimeters above George Aniki, who reached his peak in height early on. Damn. I bet my relatives all say, "Look how big you've grown, Battler-chan," or something. It's all so embarrassing. I wish they'd just give me a break. Anyway, my name's Battler. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think?
Yeah.
I've gotta wonder what my parents were thinking when they named me that. I've never met anyone who could read it right the first time.
Here we go. Name lore.
I usually get called Sento-kun. Sorry, but that's not even close.
Oh.
My name is written like that.
Look, check the thingy. Check the thingy.
Huh? What?
The
Huh?
tips.
Oh.
Ba-ding. That's the first one.
There he is, Ushiromiya Battler, the son of Rudolph and his first wife, Asumu. When his father married a second wife shortly after Asumu's death, Battler rebelled and went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. However, both of these grandparents passed away, and he has now returned to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap.
Take a look at that stance. Oh, you shattered the mirror. That's right. I was like, huh? He's got the fleur-de-lis for a zip-up, by the way.
Yeah, true. But yeah, my name is written like that. I just realized that the voice I did for him is kind of like Sonic.
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Only because I know how to say it in English.
I can't. The first part is my family name, Ushiromiya. That's a fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my given name. That is made up of the characters for fight and person, and it's pronounced Battler. Put it all together and you've got Ushiromiya Battler. Pretty crazy, right? It's crazy enough that my parents decided to call me that, but it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official.
True.
Both groups are at the top of my must-kill list.
He's based. He's killing the government.
Anyway, this is one of my cousins. His name is pronounced Ushiromiya George, or Georgie if you're pronouncing it Japanese.
Georgie.
He's 5 years older than me, so he must be turning 23 this year.
18.
Okay, so yeah, he's 18, yep.
I thought it was 1621, but it's 1823. Gotcha.
Since the Ushiromiya cousins consist of 2 boys and 2 girls, I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki today. Oh boy, here we go. Whoa, Battler-kun, look how big you've gotten! You know what they say, leave a boy for 3 days and you'll hardly recognize him.
True.
Good luck.
Thanks. It must be in his blood. Rudolph wasn't that tall either until his high school years. Perhaps people end up taller if their growth spurt comes late.
Nah, it's nothing special. A real man needs to be tough on the inside, too. Exactly. Battler-kun here knows how it works. Real men win or lose based on what they've got on the inside. Can't ever forget to keep up your training and discipline. You gotta do that. Yeah, you gotta do that. Wait very alertly for the perfect moment and strike. Now, I never even imagined that I'd become the company president I am today, master of my own domain.
Okay, we get it, Hideyoshi.
Yep, to think I've come this far after starting out penniless and ruined.
Calm down.
This stout, plump old guy is George Aniki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. He's the husband of Dad's older sister. In other words, we're not blood related. He's nice to children, sociable all the time, and even quick to give out some spending money to us kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. He speaks in an odd way and a very noticeable Kansai dialect, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Apparently, impressions are everything in the business world. So speaking in a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more.
Imagine just like living in New York and putting on cowboy boots
Yeah.
to do business.
However, I hear he gets embarrassed when talking with an earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese.
I would too.
I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person.
He's one of my faves. If only you weren't so quick to brag about your life story. That's enough for now, I think. I'm sure Battler's getting tired of it. Aren't you?
Nope, not at all. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty cool for a man to have some stories he can brag about. I don't have anything like that at all.
Oh, really? I'd imagine a man with your looks would leave girls crying left and right. I can't believe you have nothing at all to brag about.
What? You're joking, right? Of course nothing weird like that's ever
Weird?
happened to
You're
me.
18.
Heck, I wish it would!
Weird? Come on, you aren't fooling anyone. Oh, you must tell your aunt all about it later. After all, nothing of the sort ever happened to George.
Bruh!
Mom burning her own son.
This is George Oniki's mother. And Ava?
Ava.
She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers, and they've always teased me back as far as I can remember. This sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. Well, I guess the events of the last 30 seconds prove that they can still be hard to get along with.
True.
Even so, George Oniki's family is interesting and fun. They seem to get along just fine. Sheesh, that's pretty much the total opposite of my family. Speak of the devil. Oh gosh. Battler-kun, have you seen Rudolph-san? Huh? He headed off to the bathroom a while ago. Is he not back yet? Maybe the poor old geezer dropped dead.
Okay, alright. I think it says this in the tips. But that's a thing in Buddhist culture to do whenever someone is like when you jinx someone of death or when they're dying or something, you just go namu 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 namu.
Oh, okay. Namu namu namu. That's no way to talk about your own father. Still, this isn't the first time he's taken so long in the bathroom.
We're outing him for having constipation issues?
Huh? Yeah.
He's always been that way.
The guy's always been that way. Does he really have to take a magazine with him every time he needs to take a dump? And what on earth is he doing in there with those particular magazines?
Oh my gosh, Battler is like insane from high school DD. He has no idea what sex is.
I think he does. I think he's joking.
He's just memeing.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that at all. Since we've been together, I haven't let him do that on his own.
Okay, just jumping right into it.
Oh, I'll have to get all the juicy details later. Why? He's your dad!
I sure don't have any weird stories to tell about me meeting a girl, but please tell me about my father's love life. Thanks, Battler.
Sounds like Dad's got his balls in an iron grip.
Oh, he literally does.
Oh. You know exactly what would happen with that man if I didn't keep a tight grip, don't you? No kidding. You're the only one capable of reining in that old bastard. As his son, I'm more than happy to let you take over. Yes, leave it all to me. After all, that's my specialty.
It is? That's your specialty?
This woman is my father's wife. Her name is Ushiromiya Kirie. As you can probably tell from our conversation, she's not my real mother. She's basically my not basically, she is. She is your stepmother. My real mom died 6 years ago, and Kirie-san is the woman Dad married afterwards. It's understandable for someone my age. I could never bring myself to call his new wife Mom. And I doubt she feels like using the word son on this massive kid who's no relation to her at all. We aren't little kids. We know there's nothing to be gained by fighting. So we decided that we wouldn't force ourselves to pretend that we're family. I've decided to act a bit more frank with her, acting as though she's a friendly neighbor instead, or just a friend. A friend works. Japanese people, man, with
I know.
It's much easier if we just keep a little distance instead of forcing ourselves to act close and making each other uncomfortable. Kyrie-san has always been very open about all this, and thanks to that, we've been able to get along pretty well. Then, just when we were bad-mouthing Dad about being in the bathroom, the man himself came back,
boy.
wiping his hands with a handkerchief.
I will say, probably once we get to the island, maybe review the family stuff and we can take a look at any secrets. And I also want to call attention to a certain detail that you probably already noticed, we've already talked about. But anyway, battler.
Hey, what's up, Dad?
Wink.
Ow, 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 ow! Don't pinch my ear! Ah!
So, you've been talking trash about me with Mom again, haven't you? What makes it so hard to show a little respect for your father, Boing.
Ow! 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 Damn it! That hurts! You can stretch my ear all you want, but I'm not gonna be able to fly. That hurts!
Dumbo? Dumbo reference? Come on now. Up, up, down, down. Konami code. It's gonna do the whole
It's
thing.
going for the whole
AB? You gonna do
thing.
AB select start? Now, say, Father, please forgive me for being so rude.
Like hell I will! Go find yourself some members-only store if you want it that much. Let go! This old bastard is my dad. I think I'm pretty tall myself, but Dad's about as tall as I am. It's no surprise Aunt Eva started talking about Dad's blood when she saw my height. By the way, my height...
What do you mean by that?
My height isn't the only thing I got from him.
He's not talking about his hair color.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Whew. It seems having weird names runs in the family. Dad's full name is written like that.
Uh-huh.
You can't read it, can you? No. How did you know? Come on, it's just...
I don't... Battler, you're gonna have to help.
Anyway, this guy's name is pronounced Rudolph, or Rudolph.
Rudolph.
He must hate Grandfather for giving him that name. Still, that's no reason to pass that weird naming tradition on to me.
Yeah-huh.
As the old bastard twisted my ear all over the place, Aunt Eva snuck up behind him and grabbed his ear.
Good. Hey, Rudolph. You should know better than to physically abuse your son. Yeah, that hurts, Aneki.
This scene perfectly illustrated the relationship between the prankster younger brother and the older sister who could deal out punishment to him despite his size. I think it's good enough for now, Ivani-san. I'll make sure to stretch out his other ear later on. I don't think
sounds like an
that... Yeah, I don't
innuendo,
think
but
it was
it's
meant to be an
not.
innuendo, but it sounds like one.
His other ear. Oh, my apologies. I must leave some pulling for you to do, Kyrie-san. Rudolph, make sure Kyrie-san gives you lots and lots of punishment later on, okay?
Oh, whoops, I went into the log.
You're one to talk, Aneki. Abusing your little brother like that. Hideyoshi Nissan, I'd like to thank you very much for picking her up. If you hadn't been so generous, she'd still be unsold in the store. You have my gratitude and apologies. Mr. Ear over here says Schroggers, by the way. True.
He's got 3.
What? Who are you calling unsold?
After taking 2, 3 steps back, Aunt Eva unleashed one of her beautiful high reverse roundhouse kicks, which
Of
stopped
course.
just a centimeter away from the tip of Dad's nose.
As she would, I guess.
After starting out with Tai Chi Chuan for her figure, Aunt Eva then developed an interest in the Chinese martial arts. After that, she went through karate, taekwondo, I don't know what that one is or how to pronounce
Capoeira.
it. Capoeira. And what it is she's learning now again? Well, anyway, they say a woman's weapons are in her lower body, and that's usually
What?
true for Eva.
1986.
Yeah, true.
Rudolph, did you know that a single direct blow to the side of the head like that would knock you unconscious? Not so long ago, I accidentally connected in a practice match and my opponent was out cold. Sheesh, what a pain. I'm so sorry she can't help walking like a freak.
Bruh. Dad, completely unfazed, shrugged and smiled ironically at Uncle Hideyoshi.
Take a look at this guy.
Never had a brother or sister myself. So when I see you two bickering with each other, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Does it?
It sure is nice to have a big family. Oh, then why not consider making a little brother for George?
It's a little late. It's been 21 years.
He's already 23. He's already a fine adult who's about to go off on his own, so it might be a good time to have another child.
No, it is not. Hey, have a little sympathy for the new kid and all the pain and suffering he'd have to live through. I'm surprised even George Coon turned out as well as he did after being born from this sinister sister of mine. And what an awesome kid he is. Please share some of that with our blockhead of a son someday, will you?
That's not at all how it happened. It's thanks to Eva Nissan's proper rearing that George Kun became the kind of gentle kid he is now. Isn't that right, Nissan?
Oh, come now. You think so? Our George still has a long way to go. Ah, by the way, how's your little Angie-chan doing? I heard she was vomiting. That's really funny out of context.
Oh, that's right. And I was hoping to finally see her face after such a long time. Is she okay? She often catches a cold when the seasons change. She's very frail. I did want to bring her along, but we decided to have my family look after her this time.
I think that's a wise move. She'll heal a lot better if she stays away from that venomous head family household. A child's health is always more important than an adult's convenience, don't you think?
I know of some great medicine for vomiting colds like that.
Thanks, Hideyoshi. Why do you know this?
When we get back home, I'll send some to you right away. So please, let her try some. Thank you very much, Hideyoshi Nissan. I'm always in your debt. And once the conversation suddenly veered off in that direction, we kids didn't have any chance of butting in.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just happy Aunt Eva gave Dad his just desserts for tugging on my ear.
Are we still waiting for the weather report?
George Aniki pointed at the counter. The checking weather sign was still stuck next to the departure times for the flight we were scheduled to board. According to Aniki, smaller planes are more subject to winds and other effects of the weather, and it's not all uncommon for flights to be delayed because of that. Wait a sec. We are totally sure it's not gonna shake, right?
I'm gonna shake you.
From down here on the ground, it just looks cloudy, not windy. Well, I guess it's different up where the planes fly.
You're about to find out. And the weather's a bit uncertain today.
Aunt Eva looked at the TV in the lounge. The weather forecast was being broadcasted, informing us that a typhoon was approaching the Kanto region.
Great time to go on a vacation. A typhoon again? Guess there's no helping it with the annual conference being held in October. Couldn't he have chosen a better season? I agree. I've always hoped we could have it sometime around the Obon Festival in mid-August. In that case, why don't you suggest that to Father and Nissan during the conference? Very funny. Why don't you do it yourself? Our brother would never listen to anything I suggested. No way. It doesn't really bother me that much to have it in October. I was just saying you might want to propose it, since you said you hate typhoons so much. I only said that typhoons always come around this time of year. You're the one who said you wanted to move it to the Obon Festival, right? Well, you said it too last year. Didn't you say that it would be easier to fit into your schedule if we had it during the Obon Festival? I never said anything like that. Oh, yes, you did. I certainly wouldn't forget something like that.
Uh-oh.
No, I didn't. You're the one saying that all the time. Didn't you know? Stopping a ship just a hair's breadth away from impact is a very high-level technique. Thanks, Ava. Sheesh. Women your age shouldn't spread their legs like that.
Dad and Aunt Ava's argument looked no different from a couple of brats quarreling.
True. Even though they usually behave like normal parents, they turn right back into kids again when they meet their siblings at these family conferences.
You're the one who looks like a real adult. And real adult.
Uh-oh.
Analyzing it all calmly. I hope I never turn out like that old bastard. I'd much rather end up as an intellectual adult like you, Aniki.
That's me. I'm intellectual. Like me. Oh, I still have a long way to go. I still have very little experience out there in the real world, and I need to work on becoming more confident and sociable. I think you far surpassed me on all of those counts, Battler-kun. I'm sure you'll outstrip me fast enough when you become an adult, huh?
He is an adult. George Aniki scratched his head and laughed, as though trying to hide his embarrassment. Of course, he was just being humble. Aniki entered a university and became an apprentice at Uncle Hideyoshi's company at the same time, studying both academics and how to become a business emperor in parallel.
Oh, they have that? They have that course?
Then, right after graduating, he got into Uncle Hideyoshi's company as his father's aide, piling up a lot of real-life experience as he devoted himself zealously to his work. His great dream is to one day stand on his own and build up his own kingdom. I don't think that's his dream. Aniki is a real paragon of a man, sparing no effort as he strives towards his goal. It's no exaggeration to say that I really respect him.
Oh.
And then there's me. I'm nothing at all like Aniki.
I have red hair.
I'm living my happy-go-lucky, idle high school life to the max. I've got no dreams for the future. I'd like to just sit back, stay cool, and let the money flow in. But of course, that could never happen. When Aniki was my age, he had already formed an impressive objective and had started devoting himself towards studying for that goal. So I guess I can't compare at all. My dad just says, "Sure, you can study at my company if you like cleaning toilets."
Amazing. Base dad.
Damn it. I'm not gonna be in the debt of that old bastard. I'll find my way myself. If only willpower was all it took to become an adult.
He's just like Miles Morales.
Miles Morales if he was bait. Should I go on one of those self-searching journeys that are all the rage these days?
Please no. Please God no.
Well, it's not like I could mooch off my parents for that kind of money. Right then, Uncle Hideyoshi shouted out loudly.
What?
He's a really nice person on the whole, but he does have a problem of controlling the volume of his voice. When I looked over, I saw that he was greeting Aunt Rosa, who had come late.
Oh boy.
Oh, my mouse.
Where are we at? Where?
Oh! If it isn't Rosa-san!
It's peaking so crazy on my end.
Maria-chan, long time no see.
Wait, that's you. Right?
Damn it!
Enjoy.
Long time no. Long time no see. Oh, I have to do the oohs.
Maria. Shouldn't that be, it's good to see you again? Greet your uncle properly.
It's good to see you again. There you go. Well said.
It's the time to get that word. There you go.
How about some candy as a reward? Oh, huh? Where'd I put it?
Good pocket candy.
Rosa-san, it's good to see you again. It's good to see you too, Maria-chan.
It's been too long, Kirie-ne-san, Hideyoshi-ni-san. And, oh my, Battler-kun? Look how big you've gotten.
Oh, come on. It's embarrassing hearing that from every person I meet.
Hey, Rosa, you're late. If the plane was on time, you'd barely have made it. I'm sorry. We had some trouble making our train connection. So are we waiting on the weather again? Why is it all me? Oh, don't complain. I much prefer the 30-minute plane trip to spending 6 hours bouncing about on a boat. What was that phrase? Even if we're kept waiting here for an hour, it's still much faster overall.
Maria-chan's gotten huge too. So, how tall are you now? Oh, so how tall am I now? Maria-chan parroted Uncle Hideyoshi's question, looking up at her mother. I guess she doesn't remember her own height. She's probably right in the middle of a growth spurt, so her height must change every month. Give it a few more years, and she'll suddenly start looking feminine.
Just how tall were you the last time you got measured? You keep getting bigger and bigger, don't you? Right.
Oh. I think she's grown a lot since last year. Let's see. She turned 9 years old this year, didn't she? 9 years old! Oh?
That expression. That's right. You're 9 years old now. Glad to see you're doing well too, Maria-chan. Up you go. I guess you've gotten a bit too heavy to play airplane with.
George and Nikki, what a rude thing to say to a lady.
She's just staring at me.
I'll do it. Up you go. Oh. When I went to lift her up in Aniki's place, Maria stiffened defensively, staring suspiciously at my face. Ah, that's right. The last time I met Maria, it was 6 years ago, and she was only 3 years old. Of course she doesn't remember my face. Maria-chan, don't you remember? It's Battler-kun. You used to play together, remember?
No surprise, I guess. The last time she met Battler, she was only 3. You don't keep memories at that age.
She must know everyone's face apart from mine because she meets them every year. But I haven't had contact with the Ushiromiya family for about 6 years now. We know! We get it!
Yeah.
So it's no surprise that this 9-year-old girl doesn't have any memories of me.
True.
Even I can only just barely remember her being a 3-year-old crybaby.
Maria, this is Battler Oni-chan, Rudolph Nissan's son. Understand?
The brother's son is... The brother is the son... Huh?
Classic.
That sound was probably her brain going into overload at that complicated explanation. It wasn't that complicated.
It's not that bad.
I guess the phrasing of that was a bit confusing. Ni or Oni, the title you'd use to refer to an actual older brother, can also be a friendly honorific for a boy who's only a bit older than you. It's just like ne or one, the word for big sister.
Maria-chan. This is Battler-kun. He's your cousin, like me.
Like George Oni-chan? Oh my god, the ellipses.
Thoughts?
The brother.
She's processing. She's thinking.
Battler? Cousin. Cousin?
That's right. You got it.
This part of Aniki is what makes me really look up to him. For someone who isn't married, he's just great at dealing with kids. I'm sure he'll be an indulgent father in the future. Oni-chan? Maria looked straight at me with a questioning expression, as though asking whether it was okay to call me that.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's me, Battler. Nice to meet you, Maria.
Okay, have you ever been in that type of situation? Have you ever, like, had younger family members, like cousins or whatever, that ask you a question that absolutely you shouldn't be the one to answer?
Yes.
Dude, I thought we were getting ready to see Maria be like, why is your mom no longer there? Something like that. Oh, she would. Look at her and tell me she wouldn't.
Ooh, Battler!
Maria, you mustn't talk to him like that. Call him Battler Oni-chan.
That's alright, Aunt Rosa. I don't sweat the small stuff. Hey, Maria. We're close enough that we don't need honorifics, right? Battler! 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 Ooh! Ooh! This is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
That's right! Maria! 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 Ugh!
He's doing it.
Ugh!
Woo, woo.
We horsed around for a while to make up for the 6-year gap in our friendship.
Uh-huh.
She probably still thinks of me as nothing more than a big new friend, but things will probably work out as we get to know each other again. But I'm surprised. She's just the way I remembered her being 6 years ago.
What?
Seems that people don't change that much after all. I'm a bit happy that she's still the pure, innocent girl I remember. Her name is written...
That third one is really weird.
Square!
Yeah, it's...
Of course, it's pronounced Maria. The third character looks like a cross, which is pretty cool.
That's what we said.
Her feelings don't usually show up on her face, so it can be difficult to know just what she's thinking. But that's just how she looks on the outside. On the inside, she's just a sweet, normal girl.
Yeah, you see that hat she's wearing?
Yeah. Then there's Maria's mother, Aunt Rosa. She's my dad's younger sister. Rosa is written like that. Here's a name that's totally not Japanese. Because all the other ones before this definitely were.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it, but her name's almost as ridiculous as Dad's. I've got to respect her for not ending up as screwed up as he is. When I think about it, all the names in my family sound foreign. Just why is grandfather so obsessed with that?
Westaboo.
Because of him, even we grandchildren have to put up with this weird naming sense. It's even more annoying since grandfather's own name is perfectly normal. Anyway, there's one thing about Aunt Rosa that's a relief compared to the other family members. The old bastard and Aunt Ava have this annoying urge to tease and mock people all the time. But even though she shares their blood, Aunt Rosa isn't like that at all.
No, she's very good.
She has the most common sense among all the siblings.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Hideyoshi, she's a kind aunt who will always be on the kid's side. However, possibly because she's more strict as a parent, she's not liberal with handing out spending money like Uncle Hideyoshi.
Good.
Okay. Now we have the entire group of family members who are going to board the plane.
Alright. Do we want to look at the tab?
Sure.
Let's see what the system will tell us. Here's the connection. Here's the family tree
Alright.
so far.
Let's start with Battler's people. Ushiromiya Rudolph, Kinzo's third child, along with his
look at that
sister,
stance.
Eva. He intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their oldest sibling, Kraus, not met yet, from keeping all of their father's wealth for himself. His former wife, Asumu, passed away 6 years ago, and he married his current wife, Kyrie, shortly after that.
Alright, fair enough.
Ushiromiya Kyrie, Rudolph's second wife, she has already worked alongside him for some time before the death of his first wife, at which time she openly took the position of his wife. Huh? She has served as... Yeah. She has served as Rudolph's right hand in several shady pieces of business, guiding them to success. She is quick-thinking and well-trusted by her husband. Ushiromiya Eva, Kinzo's second child. She is hostile towards her brother Kraus and opposes him whenever she can, from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. Normally, she would have lost her place in the Ushiromiya family register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. Ushiromiya Hideyoshi, Eva's husband. He took his wife's name upon their marriage and became a member of the Ushiromiya family. He therefore does not possess the spiteful genes passed down through Ushiromiya family members, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conferences. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a medium-sized restaurant chain. This chain seems to be growing and performing extremely well.
Okay.
Ushiromiya Joji, Eva and Hideyoshi's son, an affable young man liked by everyone in the family. He is currently studying as an assistant for his father's company, and it seems he dreams of making it on his own one day. As the oldest of the four cousins, he acts as their leader and arbitrator. Ushiromiya Rosa, Kinzo's fourth child. She is by far the youngest of the four siblings. It seems that this gives her a weaker position in the family conference. She manages a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. Ushiromiya Maria, Rosa's daughter. Her father's identity is unknown. She can't shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends, but is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic. Thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia.
Okay. First off, character design in this, I love it. They all wear similar styles.
I'm so glad we're using the PlayStation sprites.
Well, you don't like the old original?
I don't like the original sprites. We're challenging those two other guys who did the whole series, but they were like, no, we gotta do the original sprites. We're doing the whole series too, but with the good ones. Come watch us.
Now, do you notice the trend between the styles? I don't know if I've already talked about it or not. You probably saw it because...
I mean, I know every single one of them has the one-winged eagle.
Yes.
Every one of them that is an Ushiromiya by blood.
Yeah.
Eva's even got tattooed on her. Look at that right there.
She's got tattoo. She's got the big dress.
Yeah. And then Rudolph's got it up here.
On his, and on his leg.
Battler's got... Oh, I didn't even notice he had it on his leg.
Yeah,
True.
Look at that. Pop.
I mean, she's got it on the... I don't even know what that's called.
Ascot?
Yeah, right there. Maria's got it on her corset?
That, yeah.
George has it on his vest. None for Hideyoshi. None for Kyrie. Although Kyrie is rocking a crucifix. She's rocking a sign of the cross on her tie.
And the holes in her dress? What is going on?
Just a stylistic choice.
So, but like I'm trying to figure out this dress. It looks like it crosses over, right?
Yes.
But it's got a neck thing like a suit does.
Yes.
Does it have sleeves?
I don't know.
It's the weirdest dress. It looks really cool.
It looks like there are sleeves underneath the suit jacket. They're a different color, though, but that doesn't mean they're not part of the same dress.
I'm just imagining what it would have been like for her to be like, I know I've got a plan for the family trip this weekend. What'll I bring? Oh, I know.
My most elaborate dress.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like in the back. The crease is like in the back where it comes over.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because it goes here, and then it goes...
disappears.
Well, I think it's supposed to be this line right here. I'm not too sure. There's just kind of a crease right there. But yeah, so it looks like it goes back behind and maybe around.
Wow. All right. Check tips. Check tips in case there's anything there yet.
Nothing there yet.
Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to see.
At that moment, as though it had waited for us all to arrive, an announcement rang out through the lobby. Our apologies for the delay.
Who's drinking?
Boarding will now commence for Flight 201 to Nijima. We ask that the passengers please form 2 lines in front of the counter behind the white line.
Why is Snape working in this Japanese facility? What? Rosa, you still haven't gone through boarding procedures, right? Hurry up. Oh no! Maria, come on.
Ooh! We had to go through a metal detector before going out on the runway. Our small plane wasn't as massive as an international flight, but it was still a plane. A staff member holding a metal detector checked us all. Once all of us cleared the check, we followed the staff member out and onto the runway. Come to think of it, everyone... Why wouldn't they be?
Isn't that weird? When you're going to a family conference and everyone there's your family?
Everyone here is in the Ushiromiya family. It's like this is a reserved charter flight or something.
Who would have thunk it with your incredibly rich family?
You are so stupid.
Battler the himbo.
Our group stopped in front of the entrance to the airplane. Then, our guide turned around and spoke, looking down at the passenger list as he did. Boarding will now commence. As I call out the names on the passenger list, please take your seats in order, starting from the front row on the right side, and going right to left, then on to the next row.
Harry Potter.
I will now begin reading the passenger list. Harry Potter... No. Ushiromiya Hideyoshi-sama. Oh, I'm first. Right here. By the way, do you have some candy, Ava? I've been looking all over for some, but I can't find any. Ushiromiya Eva-sama.
They're in my handbag. I'll get one once we're inside the plane.
I've heard that candies are a good way to protect your ears from hurting because of variations in atmospheric pressure when landing or taking off.
You say this, but you're saying the same about your family earlier? Battler.
That's probably what they're talking about. Hope I get a window seat.
Don't worry. There aren't any other kinds of seats.
As George Oniki said, there were apparently only 2 lines of seats. So, this is what a small plane is like. Why are you dumb? Why? We are totally sure it's not gonna shake, right? How did that lead you to it's gonna shake?
I don't know, man.
Ushiromiya George-sama.
Right here. Don't worry, Battler-kun. It won't shake too much.
Ushiromiya Battler-sama. Aniki? What do you mean by not too much? You can't just swim if you fall from a boat. Or you can just swim if you fall from a boat. But if a plane crashes, you're screwed, right? We all get our own parachutes and our seats, don't we? Wait, we don't? Ushiromiya Rudolph-sama.
Doink. Come on, Battler. Stop standing there slack-jawed and get in.
Ow! Dad!
I was right.
Don't push me! We don't get parachutes!
It's like that one lady.
Yeah. Ushiromiya Kirie-sama. Okay, you two, stop fooling around. Let's move on in. Ow! Oh, that's you.
Ow, Kyrie. Don't push me. This blockhead isn't moving.
Ushiromiya Maria-sama. Ooh, let's move on in. Ushiromiya Rosa-sama.
Maria, be quiet. The music.
This is your pilot.
Severus Kawabata.
Severus Kawabata, we'd like to thank you for taking New Tokyo's aviation flight 201 today. We estimate that the flight to Nijima Airport will take about 20 minutes. We are receiving reports of atmospheric turbulence. There may be some shaking of the aircraft, so we ask that you do not unfasten your seatbelts after takeoff. Aniki, did that guy just say we needed to wear seatbelts? In a jumbo jet, they let you undo them after takeoff, right? So it's gonna shake so much that we can't take them off? Damn it! You tricked me! It is going to shake after all! Where are the parachutes? I knew I should have taken the boat!
Oh, cut to black.
Legend of the Golden Witch.
Is that? It's just a plane.
Yeah, it's just a plane. Yep.
What is that music?
Ushiromiya Battler.
We just getting like the cast here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this music. I remember this song now.
Yep. Ushiromiya George. Ushiromiya Jessica. Ushiromiya Maria. That's an unintroduced character that you've got right in the credits right there.
Yep, we'll probably get more of them.
Ushiromiya Kenzo. Ushiromiya Kraus. Ushiromiya Eva. Ushiromiya Natsu. Ushiromiya Hideyoshi. Ushiromiya Rudolph. Ushiromiya Rosa. Ushiromiya Kirie. We're gonna get all the servants.
Let's see. Yep.
Nanjo. Terumasa. Shannon. Goda Toshiro.
Best
Ranui Genji. Cannon. Oh, I did the
Kumasawa.
Kumasawa.
I can't remember what her other name is. No credits on this one?
Nope.
We're just flying.
Umineko no Naku Umineko no Naku no Koro ni.
Rondo of the Witch and Reasoning.
That's it, guys. That's the whole visual novel. We're glad you came to the stream today. This is
Longer than the Bible.
Should have taken the boat.
I love this song.
The boat. Fall! Fall! Ooh, 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 ooh!
Maria, that's enough. But what a surprise. I thought there was nothing that could scare Battler-kun. This guy can't handle vehicles for some reason. Always yells about falling and sinking and stuff. You're a disgrace of a man, you are.
Shut up. That thing was seriously shaking way too much. I just got a little stressed since it was my first time on a small plane like that.
You call that a little stressed? Sounds like it'd be fun to take an overseas vacation with you, Battler-kun. Would you like to go to Egypt with your aunt? You'd get to ride a plane for a full 14 hours.
There's a good plan. Battler-kun, you should go let Ivane-san toughen you up some. Still, it's so hilarious. Now, everyone's got their own strong and weak points. It's bad to laugh at them.
As he laughs, Dad, you're laughing too. Hey, Maria-chan, you shouldn't laugh anymore.
Shouldn't laugh anymore?
The stone face she gives.
God damn it! Is being scared of planes really such a big deal?
Yes.
Everyone obviously thinks I'm a big oaf now.
Big oaf. Backing track. Thank you, 100 glizzy.
100 golden butterflies! We split up and took separate taxis from the airport to the harbor. From there on, we would be taking a boat to the island. The islands are right next to each other, so the distance of the trip wasn't that great. By boat, it was a leisurely 30 minutes to the island. When we reached the pier where the boat and the island was anchored, we saw a figure waving at us.
Oh.
Oh, who is it? Wait, who is it?
Wait,
I got Maria, you got Rosa.
Rosa.
Was Rosa
So
first or
it's
was
you.
Maria first?
Maria was first.
Damn it! Alright. Judging this on... It's been so... not the teenage cursing. It's been so freaking long! George?
Sorry, I was looking at where Rokkenjima was on the map because I was curious how close it was. I was gonna look for a visual, but I can't find it. Okay. Ah, Jessica-chan. It's been a year since I saw you. You've gotten taller again, haven't you?
Don't give me that. It's embarrassing when you say it every year. Hey, Aniki, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh gosh.
Is that really Jessica? Awooga! No.
Okay, yeah.
Wait a sec. George, is this big guy Battler? We both stared at each other. She definitely didn't look like... It's been 6 years! She definitely didn't look like that in my memories. But I do remember her crazy way of talking.
Suddenly Alabama don't look so bad.
Yo, Jessica. What's this now? You're kidding me. You look like a woman now. What are these, boobs?
True. True, Battler. Pop off, King.
You managed to get a chest.
Oh, 1986? 1986?
Let me rub him. Let me... Don't screw around with me. I'm a blushing flower of 18. Of
What
course
girl
my
says
hair
that?
grew longer and I got these. What, do you think I got boobs just to get fondled by you, loser?
Why is that such an insult, though?
And speaking of you, sure, you got all ridiculously huge, but did you get a bit stronger too? Why are you oogling each other? You're cousins! First cousins!
Let him cook. Let him do their
No!
thing.
Don't screw with me. I'll show you how much training I've done since back then.
I'll pull your other ear.
You're pissing me off. I'll beat you at your own game.
What?
This headstrong girl's name is Lelica.
Oh.
She was born under the same unlucky star as me, sharing the same kind of weird name.
No, yours is definitely the weirdest.
Anyways, is pronounced Jessica. She's Dad's older brother's daughter.
That's a lot of
Oh,
possessives.
I entered the log again. That older brother happens to be the oldest son of the Ushiromiya family. So for now, it means Jessica is the direct family heir.
Woohoo!
Since Jessica and I are the same age, and sometimes had little boy-girl squabbles with each other, we've always been used to fighting and joking around whenever the relatives gather.
Scared me for a minute.
True, me too. Jessica grew more quickly, so she always had me beat in terms of size and physical strength. Until now, mating
No.
When we scuffled in a contest of strength, it usually went Jessica's way. So even though I realized I'd grown bigger, part of my mind was still convinced that I couldn't beat Jessica.
Learned helplessness?
What? Oh! What the? What are you getting all serious for?
What is he
Ow!
doing?
Ow!
What is he doing?
Ow! This is not. I think he's hugging her.
What? Oh.
This is nothing. Jessica, you've gotten weak. Shut up. I'm a girl, so of course I couldn't beat a guy with physical strength forever, right? Well, you've got a point there. 1986.
I'm not touching that one.
The meat I put on my arms all went to your chest.
Huh? What did he say?
Looks like it'd be a pretty even test of strength between my arms and your boobs, don't you think? I told you, my boobs aren't for you to feel up. Besides, how about you? Did your cute little elephant son get a bit bigger to go with the rest of you?
Okay, I guess it's equal opportunity harassment.
Stop it, idiot! No, you perv! I'll be ruined for marriage. Don't touch my crotch! Don't say stuff people are gonna misinterpret!
What is going on?
Honestly, I was so surprised at how feminine Jessica had become that I had to joke around like an idiot to hide it. She was so hot, guys! Well,
You're talking about your cousin, right?
considering what a bossy brat she was 6 years ago, anyone would be surprised. And I guess she's just as surprised. She probably wasn't expecting to lose to me in a test of strength. After losing that easily, she must be shocked at how much I've grown in the past 6 years. 6 years. Once again, I'm being shown just what a huge gap of time that was. Crap. Total defeat. It's like I'm no match for you anymore.
That's not true. Even Battler-kun must have his weaknesses. Right? Maria-chan?
Fall! Fall!
True. Fall.
Fall! Fall! Cut it out, Maria. Let's keep that a secret, okay? Fall? The hell are you talking about? Sorry, but there's no chance you'll see that weakness of mine now. After all, the nightmare plane trip is already over and done with. Only thing left is the nice, quiet splashing of the boat ride. I never thought I'd start loving that piece of junk boat this much. Huh? George Nissan, is there something wrong with his head?
Fog up glasses. You'll understand soon. Very soon.
At the time, I didn't get what Aniki meant by that big smile.
Maria's blank stare. Oh, wait, it's me. Oh, God. Okay. What have we here? Oh, Battler-san, how big you've grown.
Who is it this time? Oops. It's an old lady with an apron. Oh yeah, that takes me back. I remember now.
You remember her, right? It's Kumasawa-san, the servant.
I could never forget you, Kumasawa-ba-chan. After all, you haven't aged a bit in these past 6 years. If anything, I'd say you're looking younger than ever.
Oh, lately my skin's been getting quite smooth and silky. And look, hasn't my chest gotten bigger as well? How do you like a little feel?
You're kidding, right?
The eyes!
My breast fondling is strictly limited to my cousin, and strictly limited to bouncy girls.
Oh, I was quite bouncy in my youth. Don't be shy. Fondle to your heart's content.
Give me a break. It's girls I'm looking for, not grannies. The jokes I'd cracked about Jessica were being turned against me.
As they should.
Come to think of it, Kumasawa has always been the type to tease people.
Kumasawa-san, stop that now. People with one foot in the coffin shouldn't jump around. Oh my god! To sport with the young is the most rejuvenating medicine. Oh. It's rare for you to come pick us up, Kumasawa-san. I wonder what's gotten into you. Usually your lumbago kicks in whenever someone gives you a job to do. Eva-sama, you are as harsh as ever. I found myself with some urgent purchases to make, and while I was at it, I thought I would come welcome you all. Although it does give a bad impression if the one waiting to greet you is a decrepit old woman.
Oh, sorry. Aunt Eva spoke sarcastically, but Kumasawa-ba-chan's years of experience were nothing to sneeze at. She was more than capable of smoothly and coolly deflecting that comment. Well, it feels bad to say it, but old Kumasawa-ba-chan may be past her prime as a servant. She might act as though she's in good health, but between the headaches and her lumbago, her body is wearing out. To tell the truth, the very fact that she's still working is impressive. How old is she this year again?
5.
She must be pushing... she must be pushing 80 at least. It's incredible that she's still able to act so cheerily.
You just seem to get more and more lively. Oh, that's right. Here you are. It's the tea I told you about before. Look, I bought you some. Please do try it later on.
Aunt Rosa took a souvenir bag out from her suitcase. To think that she remembered a promise that she had apparently made last year and faithfully brought it. That sort of thoughtfulness was just like Aunt Rosa. She wasn't the kind of person who would forget or break a promise. Kumasawa Bachan seemed deeply touched, not only that Aunt Rosa had remembered this year-old promise, but that she would bring a gift to a simple servant like her. This woman is Kumasawa Chiyo-san. She's a senior servant who's been working at the Ushiromiya head family household for many years. As you'd expect from someone her age, manual labor isn't her strong point, but she's a kind of super servant who can handle just about anything else, from kitchen work to cleaning and laundry. It seems like her only flaw is a tendency to slack off. I hear she tries to get away from the heavier, troublesome work by playing up her chronic diseases. In Kumasawa Bachan's case, this was probably a sign of craftiness rather than laziness, though it probably doesn't impress those paying her salary. Ah well, even if she's pretty flaky when it comes to work, I could never dislike her. I guess that's probably because of her cheerfulness and her constant smile. Hey, glad to see you're still in fine spirits. How's your back doing then?
Even with the medicine, it's not getting one whit better. According to the doctor, nothing can be done for this one. It's what you might call an incurable disease. Oh! Laugh after that line. Anyway, Jessica-chan just keeps getting prettier. Good thing she takes after Natsune-san.
The men in this family, man.
I know.
Really? Personally, I don't think we look alike at all. I mean, I don't even want to be like my parents. Because I got zero respect for them. Now, you shouldn't say such things.
He's such a rebel.
Though there are quite a few people who don't want to be like their parents in our family. Ah, that's me!
What? You sure as hell better not take after me. Your nose looking like mine already pisses me off.
It doesn't, though.
No, not at all. Not even remotely.
What are you talking about? You're surprisingly alike, you and Father.
Come on, you can't be serious. Just how am I like Dad? You're a lot like him, especially in how arrogant and prideful you are. Father's blood is especially strong in you and Nissan. Wouldn't you say, Rosa? Oh, absolutely. Kraus Nissan and Rudolph Nissan are almost unbelievably like Dad. Alright already. Why am I the only one under fire from the girls? Hey, Yoshi Nissan, give me a hand, please.
My, Rudolph Good. You're always so popular with with the ladies. I'm jealous!
Thanks, Wario. Oh, as usual, you're popular enough to make me jealous. Well then, everyone, shall we head over to the boat? Come now, Maria-san, let's go on the boat together, okay?
Get on the boat together. Ooh! Everyone gets on together. Ooh! Hell yeah! This time around, I'm not gonna be scared.
Why say it like that? Why say it out loud?
Oh, true. I didn't even realize. He is saying it out loud. I'm used to being shaken by the waves. With that piece of junk fishing boat, I'm less afraid of the shaking than the engine breaking down and the boat drifting off.
Oh yes, Battler-kun. I forgot to tell you. That fishing boat was completely worn out, so it was taken out of commission a few years back. Now we get taken to the island in a different boat.
Oh, right. It's Vatler's first time in the new boat. It's super comfy. And frickin' fast. It can go crazy high speeds. Oh. That means less travel time, right? That sounds great. Having to worry about sinking is less scary than being on a plane, but it'd still be awesome to get it over with as quick as possible. Is Paddler going to go fall again? That's only on airplanes. Everything's fine now. Anyway, it's the captain's pride and joy, a kind of modded high-speed boat. Seems he got it pretty souped up. He was bragging about how he attached 4 base high-efficiency propellers to make it break 40 knots or something like that. He talks about it all the time, so I've sort of memorized the spiel.
Yeah, I've got it memorized too, since we hear about it every year. The captain says he's been obsessed with modding ever since he lost a speed contest with a foreign boat ages ago. According to him, that opponent managed to break 30 knots with just a fishing boat.
And his thirst for a revenge match got him to build an awesome, all-new, super high-speed modded boat. I'm sure you'll just love it, Battler. Super high-speed modded boat?
Maria's look on my face.
My first thought was that this would be much better than some beat-up boat that might sink at any moment. But for some reason, I've got this feeling of foreboding. Probably just overthinking it.
I wonder. Is it time? Oh, the music. Hey, Battler, maybe you should just swim to the island. Battler-kun, you shouldn't lean over the railing too much. You might fall. Fall! True, Maria.
Damn it! So this is why you were all grinning back there. So this is the super high-speed boat that the captain started modding. Oh yes, that piece of junk fishing boat from 6 years ago doesn't hold a candle to this guy.
True.
It's shaking! Gonna fall! Ooh! Gonna fall! If I fall, I'll land in the ocean and drown. Where's the parachute? I mean, where's the buoy? Give me a life jacket! Battler, what the heck are you doing that for?
Prank him. Jessica-chan, Maria-chan, it's not nice to tease. Battler-kun, if you're scared, then just don't come out on the deck. I think you'll be able to calm down a bit if you go inside the boat.
That's a no thank you, Aniki.
What?
Shipwreck victims are always the ones inside the boat. The survivors are usually those on the deck during the accident. So I'm staying right here.
Why? Okay.
But it's shaking! I'm gonna fall! Whoa!
Whoa! Beatrice! Oh, wrong whoa.
Shake! Gonna fall! Ooh!
Maria, I told you to behave yourself. But Battler-kun, it looks like you really can't handle it. I'll go tell the captain to slow down for you.
Whoa! Aunt Rosa, thank you!
Whoa, Aunt Rosa!
Yeah. I can tell you now that safe, slow driving is definitely the way to go, even on the sea.
Umineko PSA about speeding? Don't do that, Rosa. Trials and tribulations are important for young men. Isn't that right, Battler-kun? You'd better be able to overcome a little scare like this. Otherwise, you'll never be able to go to Egypt with your aunt.
Whoa! Aunt Emma, you're so mean! Oh no! I'm gonna fall! Life jacket, parachute! Whoa!
You do be woeing.
Wait, gotta spin it around and think that way.
Huh?
What's the enemy aiming for? Is he doing this to scare me?
What are you talking about?
If that's what he's aiming for, too bad. Like hell, I'll be scared. But no! I'm gonna fall!
Spinning around, I mean, that's a little foreshadowing, I guess.
So after I made a huge fool of myself for a while, Aunt Rosa had to talk with the boat captain, and he slowed down to a more manageable speed for me. That's a bit better. Thought I was gonna die earlier. Apparently, the max speed I can tolerate is extremely slow. But that now was completely insane. The whole boat was shaking, sliding and leaping on the ocean's surface. Felt like I was riding on the back of a flying fish. Jessica was still guffawing at me as I leaned against the railing, tired and disheartened. I lost in that strength contest earlier, but I'm glad to know I'm no worse off where it really counts. But seriously... Damn it. Go ahead and laugh.
Deserved.
One of these days I'm gonna find your weakness and get back at you.
What?
And then... your boobs will be mine to squish.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. Battler, all week.
Her face, man.
Yeah, Battler, all week. I want to die on land, not in the ocean or the sky.
It'd almost be impressive to die in the sky.
Maria was patting my back, so I patted her head in return. Her expression was blank, as usual, but I realized that she wanted to console me.
Badler-kun, the captain's throwing in drinks to make up for this. Would you like one, to calm yourself down?
Oh, I keep forgetting that I'm the narrator.
Not the narrator.
George Eniki and Kumasawa Bachan brought us all ice-cold cans of soft drinks covered with beads of water. Indescript soft drinks.
Yep.
Judging from Kumasawa-san's big grin, our parents inside the boat were probably all rolling around laughing at my moment of pure terror.
What drink do you think they'd have?
It's 1986 in Japan.
But it's also a rich Westabu family.
Oh, true. Well, what would they be like? Oh, so Western. I would think Coke.
I think what's that one? New Pepsi or New Coke?
Oh, New
which
Coke.
Was one that had was it New Coke?
It was New Coke, yeah.
I think they'd be drinking New Coke right now.
I kind of wish that Coke still did New Coke. Not gonna
I never
lie.
had it.
I've never tried it either, but I've heard from some people that it actually does taste better. Just the whole reason that it flopped was because of marketing instead of because all of the people were like, "What? They're changing Coke?" And they got angry, and then they were like, "No, that's why Coke says Coke Classic on it." Is because they were like, "No, we'll go back. It's Classic Coke again." They did for a while. They sold Classic Coke and New Coke, but they renamed New Coke, get this, to Coke 2.
That's just funny.
And then Coke 2 just, like, never sold because people were like, can't be all reliable. So,
oh, wait, you're right. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
I was looking at the timing to double check. So it came out in April of 1985, so it definitely...
Totally! They totally have New Coke!
Yeah, tell everybody that canonically in Legend of the Golden Witch, Chapter 1 of Umineko, they have New Coke.
New Coke. Oh
it
my
was named
god.
Coke 2 in 1990.
Coke 2.
Dang.
But yeah, I've heard that it actually just kind of tastes similar to Pepsi, which is funny.
That is funny. I'd do the same thing.
Damn it! I'm so embarrassed I can't bear to face any of them. If I didn't change the subject somehow, I had the feeling I'd be the butt of everyone's jokes for the whole trip, so I tried to think of something harmless to talk about. Hey, Jessica. How are Uncle Kraus and Aunt Nazi doing? Oh, my old man and Mom? Unfortunately, they're fine.
Huh?
Though every other word out of their mouths is just study, study, which pisses me off. I'm so jealous since it doesn't look like Uncle Hideyoshi or Uncle Rudolph would say stuff like that.
Oh, my live stream collapsed. Okay. Oh no. Before I had my exams, my parents kept pressuring me about it over and over. I thought it was annoying then, but now I'm grateful.
Ha! I knew it. You really are awesome, Aniki.
What?
Anyway, I have to look after myself. No one tells me what to do. Well, it's not like I listen if they did.
Battler-san, have you still not returned to your parents' home?
Well, I kinda go back now and then. I've got lots of clothes and stuff left at the house I was living in until recently. Huh? Battler has 2 houses?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's her asking the question.
Yep. Something like that. Why? Why do you have 2 houses?
Where's your mom?
Only Maria, who couldn't really grasp the situation, voiced this naive question. However, the others just shot nervous glances at me, choosing not to respond even though they knew the answer. Maria, look, you can see the harbor now. Look over there.
Get distracted.
Can you see it? Oh,
There's an
saw the
expression.
harbor. Saw the harbor. Apparently, Jessica was trying to be nice by changing the subject. No, I think she's trying to be a bitch. No. Talk about your dead mom.
Yeah, why won't you talk about me, Jessica?
Ah, well. I'd rather not talk about it if I can help it, but it's uncomfortable to have it treated like some kind of weird taboo. I don't mind it that much. I don't mind it that much myself anymore. I may be a member of the Ushiromiya family, but the truth is that for these last 6 years, I've been living with my grandparents on my late mother's side, and I've been using her family name. When those grandparents passed away, one after the other, I basically had no choice but to go back and live with the old bastard. Don't get me wrong, I didn't just run away from home or anything like that. The only one at fault here is my dad. I don't really blame Kiryu-san. Being able to hold that old bastard's reins and ride him out is no mean feat.
Huh?
Still, the way that old bastard betrayed my mom, well, unfortunately, I still haven't fully gotten over that.
We'll be getting there soon.
George Aniki cleared his throat, trying to change the subject.
Please forgive my indiscretion. It seems this old woman has said too much already. If I have hurt your feelings...
I don't mind it, and no one's feelings are hurt. Don't worry, Kumasawa-bachan. Kumasawa-san seemed to regret speaking out of turn, but I was more concerned about being being worried over something like that, so I stood up and passed it off lightly. After that, I had a sip of my new Coke.
True.
And headed over to Maria and Jessica, who were gazing at the silhouette of the island.
While drinking new
Coke. Ooh! Bandler, I saw the island! Saw the island! There! Ooh!
There's some clouds in the sky.
Where is it? Oh, I see it now. Even after 6 years... The land does that,
Those
brother.
don't really change.
Yeah, land kind of stays the same for long periods of time.
Oh.
I thought it had sunk into the ocean.
I have something to say, but I'm going to wait till we get to the island.
Even after 6 years, the island hasn't changed a bit.
There it is.
The small island silhouette in front of us had gotten pretty close.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that place would be perfect for a Walmart with the parking lot that could fit about 600 cars.
All for the Ushiromiya family conference.
Yep. And like 3 meth heads that live there.
Yep. This island's name is Rokkenjima. It's a small island of about 10 kilometers around, located in the Izu archipelago.
I'm going to look that up.
Since they call this archipelago the Izu 7, lots of people think that there are only 7 islands, but that's not true. I actually also did that when I first played the game for the first time. The second he brought it up, I was like, I'm looking it up.
Oh, I see. It's like straight south of Tokyo, kind of.
Yep. There are actually several more, and Rokkenjima is one of the minor islands that doesn't get counted. Clever way to to disguise it.
Yep.
Even if that weren't the case, I doubt you'd find many people who knew about the island. Only people connected to the Ushiromiya family ever go there. In other words, outsiders and tourists never have any reason to care about it. So you'll never find this island's name on a travel brochure. After all of Rokkenjima is an estate possessed by the Ushiromiya head family. Only the Ushiromiya family lives there, and only people connected to the Ushiromiya family come and go to and from there. There's nothing there except a harbor and a mansion. The vast majority of the island is still just uncultivated forest. Such a waste when it could be turned into a nice golf course or something, or a Walmart with a 600-car parking lot.
That's what I'm saying.
However, when you realize that the entire coastline is a private beach, it starts sounding pretty magnificent, except for the fact that most of the coastline looks like sheer cliff.
Let's see. I found Nijima. And then let's see. They took a plane to get to Nijima, and then took a boat to get to Rokkenjima, right?
Yep.
I don't know how long the boat ride was, but if it's close enough that they chose that instead of flying straight to it, it can't be that far off the coast, because Nijima's pretty close to Tokyo.
Okay. You've probably guessed by now, but to put it simply, well, the Ushiromiya family is just rolling in dough. I wouldn't have guessed that from all of your
Wait, what? Really?
older family members being CEOs of companies.
Yeah.
The head family apparently possesses a vast fortune, and Dad and the others who make up the branch families have built up plenty of wealth for themselves, finding success in their respective businesses. I've been living a commoner's life at my grandparents' home these 6 years, so I'd completely forgotten.
No, you didn't.
But the old bastard's house is really elegant, and everything about it is tuned to match the snobbish tastes of the annoyingly rich.
Modern art.
Come to think of it, I guess that makes George, Aniki, Jessica, Maria, and me wealthy, high-class gentlemen and ladies.
It does.
Needless to say, none of us think of ourselves that way at all.
You should.
I don't see myself as being rich. And George Aniki, who takes self-discipline very seriously, doesn't let himself get too comfortable. We're just like you. Jessica is always complaining that she'd rather move to the city than be rich. And Maria is still a kid who isn't even interested in money at all.
Why is that the dichotomy? Move to the city rather than be rich? Can't you do both? Don't people tend to do both?
Does that attitude really make us any less snobbish? From the perspective of people in poverty who can't pay the bills, we really have been blessed with a lot. This isn't the place to explain any further, so I won't. Anyway, it's the same as not being able to choose the parents you're born from. I didn't ask to be born into a rich family, and I don't think that it's really something to be envied. It can be pretty trying when people are prejudiced against you just because you're rich and refuse to judge you by your merits. As I pondered these sentimental thoughts, Maria started shouting and leaned over the railing. No, Maria, you're going to drop your new Coke! Gone.
Her Coke? Her new Coke?
No, she dropped it! What's wrong, Maria? Oh, no! No. Did you drop something?
New cannon.
Gone! Gone!
She's tweaking.
Maria kept yelling, gone, gone. At first, it sounded as though she had dropped something, but while she shouted, she also pointed out over the ocean.
What's wrong? What's gone? I'll look for it too if you want. What is it? Dots?
If she dropped something, she probably would have looked down at the floor, but Maria was pointing out over the ocean.
Oh, I remember now.
One would assume that by the gesture that she had spotted something, but she kept saying that something wasn't there. Strange. However, since my last memories of this place came from 6 years ago, I was able to spot it before Aniki, who comes here every year. Huh? If I remember correctly, wasn't there a torii or something up on top of that small crag around here? That's right, it was definitely there. I remember it well, since as we got closer to the island, it's the first thing to greet us, like a landmark. Wow, you're amazing, Battler.
What?
Even though it's been 6 years, you remembered?
It was here, wasn't it? I remember too. The tutelary god's shrine and that torii-like thing were standing all alone on that crag. And now that you mention it, they are gone, aren't they?
I wonder whose fault this could be. Surely it's not related to George in any way.
Surely this will not have any consequences for this family trip. I'm pretty sure they were still there last year.
Gone! Gone! Ooh! 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 Maybe they were washed away by the waves or something. It was a small crag, so it probably got worn away over time.
Is the whole crag gone?
Well, that's just a theory. My theory.
A Jessica theory, oh.
That's my theory, too. It was last summer that it disappeared. But they say
an enormous lightning bolt came crashing down one evening and smashed the shrine. The fishermen whisper that having a thunderbolt fall upon our honored tutelary god must be a portent of approaching misfortune. Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
Kumasawa-san smiled impishly, as if teasing us, rubbing her hands together while intoning a Japanese phrase meant to ward off lightning. However, Maria apparently took this seriously, and stared fixedly over the ocean to where the crag housing the shrine god was supposed to be. I'm sure it won't come up ever again. A portent of misfortune. Ugh. Enough, Kumasawa-san. Maria isn't old enough to get that kind of joke.
Joke? It's okay, Maria-chan. It's just a coincidence. Nothing scary's gonna happen.
George Aniki put a hand on Maria's shoulder to calm her down, but Maria's sharp-eyed expression didn't waver. Misfortune. Misfortune. Maria muttered that word over and over. Apparently, repeating a single word over and over is a habit that Maria's had for a long time. However, since the word she was saying was literally an ill omen, it was a bit creepy.
Oh?
Hey now, Maria! If you say it over and over like that, misfortune will really end up happening, you know? I tapped Maria's other shoulder. Maria whipped her head around, stared into my face, and spoke unblinkingly.
What a terrifying child.
Ugh. Misfortune is coming. Huh? And just where is it coming from? Oh, and just where is it coming from? I answered lightheartedly, trying to break the tension in the air. At that moment...
She's predicting the fall of New Coke.
Maria held up a finger, raised her arm, and pointed up to the heavens. When I looked up, I saw that the sky was still just as cloudy, but it had grown a great deal more laden than it had been that morning. That's right, they were saying that a typhoon was approaching. We had planned to spend one night on the island, but if this storm doesn't pass quickly, I won't be able to make it to school on Monday. Well, I guess it makes for a pretty good excuse to be absent. She apparently sensed some kind of misfortune in this cloudy sky. She's been muttering that non-stop for a while now. Girls at Maria's age tend to be very impressionable. She's just about the age that many girls start to get excited about sixth senses and whether they have any psychic potential and stuff.
Yeah, all the girls watching this, go in the comments and tell us what age you started to get interested in psychic potentials.
Was it 9?
And sixth senses.
Was it 9 years old? Is the game right? For all we know, this might be due to her childish, sensitive nature.
That's me. It's okay, Maria-chan. The weather might get worse tonight, but tomorrow it'll clear up and become a pretty blue sky.
Ooh, pretty blue sky. Ooh.
That's right. By tomorrow it'll be a pretty blue sky. There's no rain that doesn't end, and no clouds that never clear.
Ooh. Rain that doesn't end. Clouds that never clear.
No, the opposite of that.
I know the typhoon's coming, but it'll go away soon. It'll be okay, Maria. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
think your
started...
dorm's thinking about you?
Bruh, I don't know. Maria started yelling, ooh, ooh. It looked as though she was having a tantrum because no one could understand what she was trying to say. What in the world is Maria trying so desperately to warn us about? Unable to understand her, we couldn't help but feel a vague sense of misfortune.
Misfortune?
Oh, I had to burp. I've heard that everyone can feel the supernatural, but that it weakens as you age. That might mean
hearing this stuff.
Yeah, who is your source for these things? That might mean that Maria, the youngest one of us all, still possessed some kind of sense that the rest of us had lost. I wonder if that sense is sending her a warning. At that moment, Kumasawa-san quietly opened her mouth.
Oh. Rumor has it that long ago Rokkenjima was...
Kumasawa-san, let's not talk about that now. Just as Kumasawa-san was about to tell some kind of story, Jessica sharply interrupted her. Jessica's tone was
face right now. Too.
Yeah, Jessica's tone was extremely firm for her. I wanted to push her further, just out of simple curiosity. But judging by the look on Jessica's face, whatever Kumasawa-bachan was likely to say would probably make Maria even more uneasy. If I did try to press her for the story, the odds were pretty good that it wouldn't be anything bright and cheery.
Oh, I do apologize about that. The wind here is hard to bear for the elderly, so if you would excuse me for now.
Gossipers have no reason to hang around after they've been told to stop chatting. When Kumasawa-san finally realized that she'd overstepped her bounds, she went back inside the boat. Oh, no. After she left, Uncle Hideyoshi showed up in her place. Since he'd arrived mid-conversation, he completely failed to notice the complicated atmosphere that hung about the scene, so he refreshingly and unwittingly swept the atmosphere aside. In the end, it was his lack of tact that brightened the mood. Looks like we're almost there. Okay, just a bit more. Took forever at the speed we went today, didn't it? Wonder whose fault that was.
True.
Oh, Uncle Hideyoshi, give me a break already. Come on, don't stop there. Seriously, thanks to Battler here, it's taken forever. Ugh. Maria probably thought that everyone was refusing to listen to her. She hung her head, wearing a fretful expression. As she did, George Anki crouched down to meet her eyes and spoke to her kindly.
Maria-chan, there's nothing to be afraid of, because we're all together. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're together. Go ahead and say it.
Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're together.
Yes, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're with each other.
That's right. Exactly what George Aniki said. If we stick together, there'll never be anything at all to be afraid of. Right, Jessica? Yeah, no doubt about that. What George Nissan says is always true, Maria. George Oni-chan, always true?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't lie. So trust me, there's nothing to be afraid of if we're all together.
George Oni-chan doesn't lie? I trust you. There's nothing to be afraid of if we're all together. Not afraid. Maria jumped into George Aniki's arms and hugged him tightly. After Aniki patted her head, she jumped away again. Her facial expression had undergone a 180-degree change, turning back to normal. She was once again the ordinary Maria. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore because we're together. Yeah, that's it. You look all better now. You're strong, and that's awesome.
True.
Here's some chalky milk.
Yeah.
I'm awesome! Hey now, what's going on here? Maria-chan didn't get seasick, did she? Hmm? Well, something like that. We'll be arriving
possessed
soon.
by an evil deity.
The harbor was already drawing near.
Are we gonna get the fade in finally? Ooh! End of a chapter.
End of a chapter?
Or something. I don't know what you really call these.
Like
there's parts and chapters.
It's like a
and I don't
section.
know.
It's like a section of the chapter, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the clock. When it's the clock, that's how you know.
Boom. Shoo!
I know. Took us 2 hours to get this far.
That's the opening.
We haven't even touched the island yet.
The boat gave a big shudder. Seems we've docked at the harbor. The boat driver came out. The driver came out and jumped to the pier with the mooring rope. A large man in a tuxedo was waiting there for us with a warm smile. I didn't recognize his face, but judging by his clothes, I guessed he was a servant of the Ushiromiya head household. It should be me.
Is that you?
Because I did
Yeah,
Jessica
you're right,
and then you did Kumasawa.
Yep.
Welcome home, my lady. You were so late in returning that I began to worry. Oh, thanks for caring. This moron got so scared we had to slow down. It was seriously annoying. Shut up. Someday, when the shoe's on the other foot, you'll remember this. Ugh. At this rate, word will spread to the whole family, and I'll be the big conversation piece during dinner. Even without this, everyone would be talking about me because of that 6-year gap. But now I've gotten them an even juicier topic. Damn it. Why does the Ushiromiya head family have to live on this isolated island? In the meantime, the boat had finished its mooring. A small plank was lowered so that we could get down. Maybe we'll find out why the Ushiromiya head family has to live on this small island, Battler. Did you ever think about that?
Huh? Nuh-uh.
One by one, our parents came up from inside the boat. You must all be quite tired from your long trip. Madam, please allow me to assist you.
Thank you. It's been a while, Goda-san. How are you?
I thank you for your concern. It is always my pleasure to serve. Battler-kun, isn't this your first time meeting Goda-san? If I'm not mistaken, you weren't working here 6 years ago, right? Indeed. So please, allow me to greet him for the first time. It is an honor to meet you, Battler-sama. I'm pretty confident about my height, but you're huge. This is definitely our first time meeting. I'd never forget meeting a big guy like you. It is a pleasure. I'm Battler. I was looking forward to meeting you. I am Goda, your servant, and I have been working for the Ushiromiya head family since the year before last.
Ooh, that reminded me. I was going to draw attention to one thing. Kumasawa's other name, Chiyo, was written in katakana. I don't know if that's going to mean anything, but I wanted to note that now in case it means something later.
It's because she's old.
Or something. Goda's just now was kanji, so that's what I'm taking note here. See if there's any correlation.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there is anything you need, please feel free to rely on me at any time.
Goda-san, it's been some time.
It has been too long, George-sama. Please allow me to assist you. As usual, you're a pro at welcoming guests. If you ever need a job, just let me know, okay? I'd hire you any time. You do me too much honor. Please, allow me to assist you, Hideyoshi-sama. Goda-san then lent a hand to everyone as they disembarked, greeting them as they passed. His speech and mannerisms had the refined polish of a professional. He was very graceful, in contrast with his initially tough-looking appearance. His large size made him seem a bit scary at first, but he was much more polite than my first impression had led me to believe. He claimed to have served on the island for 2 years, but he had doubtless worked at a similar job somewhere before. After everybody disembarked the mooring rope... Oh, there's a comma there. After everybody disembarked, the mooring rope was untied, and the boat started to steer away from the harbor. I think this is where I think they name drop here. It was probably returning to its home port on Nijima. Yeah, probably, yeah. The captain waved his hand in farewell.
Bye.
Maria conscientiously waved her hand back. Now that I think about it, that must have been why I felt something was out of place for a while now. I can't hear the cries of the seagulls. Seagulls? The birds? If I remember correctly, whenever we came to the island in the past, the seagulls always greeted us with their lively "Nya! Nya!" cries.
True.
Because of that, whenever I hear the cries of seagulls anywhere else, I get the feeling that I'm coming to a family conference.
Umineko no Naku Koro ni.
Yep. Except for the small part of the island, where those of the Ushiromiya head family live. Why did I say that like Dale Gribble?
No.
Rokkenjima has been left uncultivated.
Holy.
Which apparently makes it a paradise for wild birds. Supposedly, there was a cliff somewhere that had housed a huge seagull colony, so this island was always full of seagulls. Not having those seagulls here to greet us made me feel a bit lonely.
Oh. What's wrong, Battler-kun?
Oh, Aunt Rosa. Nah, it's nothing really. I was just thinking it's a bit lonely without the cries of the seagulls.
My, that's true now that you mention it. Even though they're always so noisy, today there isn't one to be seen.
Why no seagulls?
They're dead. Oh. Maybe it's because the seagulls are having a get-together somewhere too. Maria, did you want to see the seagulls?
Ooh, wanted to see them. Still, it's a bit strange there isn't even a single one around. Maybe Jessica grilled them all and ate them.
True. Yeah.
The hell? Don't say disturbing stuff like that. Boom. You'll get Maria believing it. Ooh. Jessica and Nechan grilled them. Jessica and Nechan grilled them.
Yeah.
Ooh. I did not. I did not. Oh.
What?
I accidentally unwindowed it for a second.
Oh, I haven't even, the stream hasn't caught up.
Why the hell would I do something like that? That's right. Jessica grilled them. Skin and meatballs, liver and onion.
What?
Swimming meat dolls, liver and onion. Ooh. I can't keep doing more. As I made fun of Jessica, Maria tagged along, looking like she was having fun. She better be.
Yeah.
Oh, I never guessed she was such a good sport. Alrighty then. From today on, I'll make you my #1 follower. As I smiled at her, she beamed, looking overjoyed, possibly because she was happy about this little connection we'd made with each other.
That's not it, Maria-chan. I've heard wild birds are attuned to changes in the weather and atmospheric pressure. The weather will probably get worse tonight. The seagulls might have returned to their nests early.
That's lame.
True.
Not grilled. Jessica and Nechan didn't grill them? No! I wouldn't do something like that. Battler, you admit right now that you lied.
Battler-kun, Maria-chan is a naive girl, so she takes even jokes seriously. You should choose your jokes more carefully.
George Aniki gently scolded me. Even though I outstripped Aniki in height, Aniki was Aniki, of course. Stop making me say it. There was no choice but to obediently apologize. Sure. My bad. Maria, that was a joke. The seagulls are all taking it easy in their nests today, that's all. Battler lied?
Oh, God.
George Oni-chan told the truth? Had she actually been tricked, despite all the fun she was having? Her pure eyes made me feel guilty. Maybe I went a little overboard with her after all.
He's cheesing.
Yeah, that's right. What George Aniki said is true. The weather's bad, so they probably went home for the day. It doesn't mean they're gone. No one's ever really gone. Right, Aunt Rosa?
True. That's right. Tomorrow when the weather gets better, I'm sure they'll come back so we can hear them cry, meow, meow, like they always do.
You real for that, Aunt Rosa? Ooh. I'll wait until the weather gets better, and they come back. Gonna wait until tomorrow. Gonna wait until the weather's better. Ooh, ooh.
Not tomorrow, today.
Today! Today! Tomorrow! Maria was in a lighter mood and was looking forward to tomorrow, when the seagulls would come back and fill the skies.
Fill the skies.
They will blot out the sun.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a lot of seagulls.
Still, George Aniki really was amazing at taking care of kids. I think I remember Aniki taking good care of me as well when I was a brat 6 years ago. Aniki, that's probably your gift.
George-kun is amazing at taking care of young kids. If you wanted to, I'll bet you'd do great with a job in childcare.
Alright, I get it! Yeah, it's almost like George Nesan was born to do something like that. Personally, I think that'd suit you better than doing business in some company president's office.
Oh no. Childcare is a fine career path, but it's not a job where merely liking children is enough. You really are modest, George-kun, but Battler-kun is quite good with children too. Just a second ago, even though it didn't last long, Maria seemed to be having a lot of fun. Please keep on playing with her like you did just now. Just choose your jokes more carefully, okay?
Aunt Rosa winked at me and giggled really weirdly. No, giggling a little. She's a real mother, I thought to myself. Yeah, she sure is, bud.
Yeah, I guess.
Who's happy to see Maria having fun. He's like, sometimes he's normal, and then other times he just goes rock bottom IQ for like 2 seconds.
Oh, come on, Rosa. And you brats, too. What the hell are you doing? Let's get going.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we're coming in. On? So, I didn't see the last word.
Wait. That's it.
Oh, just coming, okay.
The old bastard was waving for us to hurry up. Yeah, we needed to get moving. We might as well have this conversation after setting our luggage down in our rooms. Now then, everyone, allow me to lead you to the guest house where you will be spending the night. Please, this way. Gora-san called to everyone and led the way.
I'm gonna have to deal with whoever the next person is. I'm not ready for it.
Kumasawa-san brought up the rear. You're either gonna be Natsuki
I know who it is.
or Kraus.
I think it's Canon.
Oh, wait, no, you're right. It's gonna be Canon. Good luck.
Depends on if he gets a voice line. I'm gonna cry if it's just 3 dots, because I'm gonna count that. But if his name doesn't pop up as reading it, I'm not gonna do it.
A serpentine twisting path led through a dim forest. It ran a bit uphill. I guess the path was made all twisty, so the slope wouldn't seem too steep. But personally, I'd have been happier if they just had the guts to make some stairs in a straight line.
True.
No doubt they made the path twist on purpose, to put on the airs of distance and importance. Before long, we saw the garden-style stone steps. From here on, I do have some memories. Go up these, and at the top of the stone steps, we saw a beautiful guest house.
Whoosh.
My eyes! Its facade was lovely, of course, but more importantly, we couldn't enter its doors without having our hearts stolen away by the splendor of the beautiful rose garden spreading before it.
Look at that gaze bow.
It's as beautiful as ever this year. A real delight for the eyes.
music.
After climbing the stone steps, the people greeted by this rose garden gave voice to their impressions one by one.
Is it just me, or are the flowers a little less lively this year? It's probably because it wasn't that hot this summer.
I also believe that was a factor. Sadly, this year's blooming is a tad inferior when compared to last year's. Even so, it was a delightful rose garden. I remember that even 6 years ago, huge numbers of roses had greeted us every year. This rose garden was the first thing that greeted the people who came to Rokkenjima. Even our parents who came every year couldn't help but voice their admiration. In fact, it seemed to have undergone a power-up from the rose garden in my memories of 6 years ago. This place is always so amazing. It would be wonderful to have a rose garden like this at home. Nudge, nudge.
Huh. Give it up. Who do you think would take care of it? Roses are a real pain with bugs and diseases to worry about. Well, from what I've heard, Kirie-ne-san takes care of her rose every day and makes sure no bugs get anywhere near it. Right? Huh? What are you talking about?
Clueless.
True.
That's right. Though, in this person's case, the rose goes after the insects like some nasty carnivorous plant.
True. Oh, so that's what you mean. Come on, Rosa, can't you give that a rest just for today? I'll put that sort of thing completely behind me. I wonder, after all, you're a womanizer on an almost genetic level.
No need to worry, Rosa-san. When a rose gives you too much trouble, it's always best to snip it at the root.
What? Oh, such frightening talk this is.
Guys who are popular with the ladies are always forced to live dangerously. I sure hope I turn around. I turn out a bit prettier in my next life.
Oh. Hideyoshi-san, like I keep saying, it isn't like that at all. And Kirie, stop it, you're freaking me out. You've made my own wilt.
Huh?
Oh, my other
Seagulls!
ear. Hey, Maria-chan, look over here. These roses are especially magnificent.
Magnificent roses. Ooh! It smells pretty sweet. Look, this suits my elegance perfectly.
Oh.
Hey, cut it out. Maria's gonna imitate you and get hurt by the thorns. She yelled at me as I leaned in to smell Rose's scent with an exaggerated gesture. I thought she was overreacting, but when I turned around, I saw Maria imitating my every gesture and George Aniki smiling broadly at us.
Hey, now, Maria-chan, be careful. Rose thorns can hurt.
George Oni-chan? Only this rose is strange. Ooh. Strange? What's wrong? Maria pointed at a single rose. I immediately understood why she found it odd. In the midst of all these magnificent roses, one single rose was starting to wilt. There wasn't any particular reason. Some roses flourished, and others wilt. That's all there was to it. But Maria seemed very concerned about the only unhealthy one in the group. It must have made her feel lonely.
Huh? So, do you feel sad for this rose because it's the only one that isn't healthy?
The others are all healthy, but this one's sad.
Symbolism?
Well, they all bloom and wither at their own paces. I bet this one's just starting to wilt early because it got to bloom before any of the others. Yeah, that's right. It probably just bloomed like crazy, fulfilled its duty, and went to sleep. You shouldn't get so worked up about it. It seemed that Maria's pure, sensitive nature was making her feel some emotional pain for the rose that wilted alone. Even though she understood the logic of it, it still felt lonely to her.
Then, Maria-chan, why don't you look after this rose until we leave?
George Aniki straightened up and felt around in his pocket. He then took out the wrapper from the candy he had been sucking on the plane. He twisted it into a thin string, then gently tied it to the rose as a sort of marker. Hey, that's pretty cute.
Let's mark it with this. Later on, you can come and give it some water. I'm sure Mr. Rose will be happy.
Mmm.
What?
I was taking a drink and didn't expect my line to be next. Ooh! Come to give it water!
I think you should give Mr. Rose here a name.
Craig.
I'm sure that'll make it happy. Huh? And you'll get to know it a little better.
His name's Craig. Name? A name? Oh.
That's a good name.
Though
Good
she
answer.
still wore her usually sullen face, Maria crossed her arms and began to consider this intently. At the very least, she appeared to have been completely pulled out of her slump. Nice going, Aniki. George Nason has always been really understanding. Can't help but respect him. Yeah, I guess he was just born that way. We gotta start picking up tips. Was this garden just as magnificent when you all were kids?
It was only after I stopped living here that it grew so big. Before that, the garden was simpler, though I'm still attached to that one. Nissan fiddled with it too much with that vaguely bad taste of his. I liked it much better before.
Eva, you've got to think positive. Setting aside how it used to look, its beauty now is something to be admired. You'll be able to relax a lot better if you look at it that way.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that I wanted you to see the garden the way it was before, too.
Symbolism? Everyone, if you please, I shall guide you to your rooms now. Goto-san called everyone to ask if we were ready. But our hearts had been completely stolen away by the rose garden and we were all dead.
True.
That none of us had seen for a year, so we didn't pay much attention to him. Since we weren't a travel group, it wasn't like we had a strict schedule to follow. Besides, since our parents were visiting their old home full of nostalgia, it wasn't like they had to let themselves be urged on by anyone or anything. Understanding the situation, Goto-san continued to wait, smiling widely, until our parents got tired of the roses and told him to guide us to our rooms.
Good. Good guy. Good guy, Goda.
Oh? Hey! If it isn't Canon-kun!
No lines. Please, no lines.
It's been so long! No, sorry. It's been so long! How are you doing?
Please don't give me like a...
Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. In the direction he was waving was a slender boy. Meeting him right after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. The boy was in the middle of transporting piled up gardening tools and the like in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to stop, he set down the wheelbarrow, took his hat off, and bowed his head. There you go.
Thoughts. Oh. Gosh, okay, I gotta effeminate myself. Hold up. Good afternoon.
I figured he was probably younger than me, and I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was another servant. He greeted us in response to Uncle Hideyoshi's call, but he seemed like he might be pretty unsociable most of the time. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Goto-san noticed that our interest had shifted towards him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us. Battler-sama, allow me to introduce you. This is one of the servants of the Ushiromiya head household. Kanon-san, greet our guest.
I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant. Kanon.
Like the camera? No. Yep.
New Coke.
My first impression wasn't wrong. He seemed to be unsociable, or at least not so good at talking. Compared to Goto-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant, you couldn't help but feel an inexperience typical of his age. When Goto-san urged him in a whisper to give a bit more of an introduction, the boy named Kanon only cast his eyes downwards. Kanon-san, could you perhaps give them a little more of a greeting?
No. because we are furniture. I'm not looking forward to every from being about furniture.
He didn't seem to be refusing to greet us out of spite. Rather, he seemed to have fallen silent because he didn't know what else to say to us in greeting. Well, Kanon-kun's shy and doesn't tend to talk much. He might not be that sociable, but deep down he's a really good person. Don't get him wrong. You've been working here for 3 years, haven't you? Pretty sure you started a year before Goro-san, right? Even though he wasn't exactly giving a terrible first impression, Jessica hurriedly backed him up. I see. Apparently his unsociable nature causes him a lot of trouble. Okay then, nice to meet you. I'm Badler. I'm 18. How old are you?
My part.
The disgust.
True,
Look at
that's
his
an
face.
expression right there.
He fell silent, as though wondering whether or not it was a question he'd have to answer. But here again, Jessica plowed ahead. If I remember correctly, Kanon's 2 years younger than us, so 16, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
True. Whoa!
Yeah. It looked like he would have preferred not to tell us his age if given the choice.
Why?
It was probably because he thought we'd look down on him for it. I remember that when I was around his age, I hated being asked how old I was by adults.
Why?
I see. 16, huh? It's gotta be a delicate time.
That's
means-
2 years younger than you.
Which means I probably asked for something I shouldn't have. I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Badler. And I'll call you Kanon.
Thank you very much. But the sentiment alone is sufficient, Badler-sama.
Jessica looked panicky for some reason. She seemed to think my impression of Kanon was getting worse because of his refusal. Well, as a girl, Jessica probably couldn't understand the fretful male heart at this age.
Huh? You understand it, Badler?
I don't think he does either. He's just pretending he does. As his elder, even by just 2 years, I took it upon myself to be understanding of that. Kanon-san, could you perhaps be a little more courteous? A smiling face is also part of a servant's duty.
My apologies. I shall make an effort. I'm gonna start, like, actually accounting for that, the dots.
Yeah?
Oh, Goro-san, Kanon-kun is trying his best, yes?
It looked like he was often warned about being unsociable. And apparently he hadn't improved one bit. Goro-san kept his business smile, but let a small sigh of resignation escape.
Well then, I still have work to do. If you'll excuse me.
It looked like Kanon himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent here any longer. After another perfunctory bow, he turned around and started pushing the wheelbarrow again. Just then, the wheelbarrow suddenly wobbled and fell, scattering the load. I guess the wheelbarrow's single wheel got cut on a pebble and lost its balance, caught on a
I
pebble.
forgot
excuse
about
me.
that.
What do you think you're doing? Now, clean it up quickly! Goro-san urged him to hurry in a quiet voice, as though hinting that it was shameful for a servant to appear clumsy in front of guests. Kanon-kun's wordlessly reloaded the wheelbarrow with the fallen objects, as if to say that he understood quite well without being told. He seemed to be fine with the light-looking garden tools, shovels, and such, but he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up some sacks of fertilizer. Are you okay? You're so careless. Here. Milady, you will dirty your garments. Please, leave this to us.
It's okay, you'll clean my garments.
With a smooth motion, Goro-san took the shovel that Jessica had picked up. Behind him, Kanon-kun was having trouble with the sack of fertilizer. Oh, you'll dirty your garments? Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that expensive. They're only like $40,000. Besides, I hate guys who just sit there and make the waitress pick up the fork they dropped at a restaurant.
Battler be like, it's just Balenciaga. It's not even Gucci.
True. I lifted up the other bags that had fallen. Of course they weren't light, but for me it was a piece of cake. Kenon-kun looked at me surprised. It was the face of someone who never would have expected to receive help from a guest.
Battler-sama, don't worry about it. I will take care of everything, so...
Don't you worry. I may not look it, but I've got it where it counts.
What do you mean by that?
Since Kenon-kun looked like he hadn't yet gone through his growth spurt, he was stuck with a sort of weak body.
Dang.
The kind of weight might have been too much for him.
At least we're not talking about the hat yet. It's quite heavy. It's natural that it would be difficult for you. Don't worry about it, Kenon-kun.
Okay, my time to shine. This makes up for the boat stuff from before, right? Ha! As if this could make up for freaking out like that. Later I'll tell you about it too, Kenon-kun. Battler was totally hilarious. Gonna fall! Fall! Oh, all of my people are here. What the heck?
Huh?
Look at the chat.
Oh, haha.
Yeah, we'll wrap up with it by 6:15. That's when I was gonna bring it up.
I see.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I was wondering. I forgot what time that was.
Yep. Hello, welcome to our stream.
True. Hello.
As they did this, I piled all the stuff back into the wheelbarrow.
I beg your forgiveness for letting you witness such unsightliness.
Come now, that's quite enough. Please, go. Letting the guests, who were supposed to feel welcome, see such a disgraceful thing must have been hideously embarrassing for a servant. Pressed by Goda to hurry up and go, Kenon-kun left.
You're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Shouldn't you have helped him instead of being a bully?
That was wrong of me. I deeply implore your forgiveness. Without even a twitch in his smile, Goda apologized elegantly. Alright, it is 6:15. Let me see if I can system. Save. We do also have... These are my old ones. I'm going to put us on page 2.
Okay.
There we are. Episode 1, Legend of the Golden Witch.
So, quick little outro.
Yeah.
The beginnings, the first starts. We'll be back. Should be on schedule, I think, for next Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to try to make this a Thursday thing. So...
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we'll see. Consider your thoughts. Any thoughts you have about it so far, put in the comments. Begin your theorizing and your thinking and your thonking. But I'll let you get on out of here. When we start up the next one, I'll get your thoughts on this part so far.
It is longer than the Bible, so we got a long series ahead of us.
Yes, we do. We haven't even met all the main cast yet.
Yep, I hope this button is my stop recording button.
Is it your stop streaming button as well?
Oh, wait. Oh, gosh, wait. Okay, wait.